What's up, guys? It's Travis. Welcome to your 10th tutorial. Hope you're enjoying the series so far. Hope you learned a little bit, but if you're still pretty much confused, I understand, and you'll pick up on it quickly. I just want to say thanks for subscribing and give me those thumbs up. I'm loving that. But today we're going to go through a lot of stuff. We're going to do some stuff that you've already done in the past, but pretty much the new stuff that you're going to do is setting up that button so it's actually going to do something. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff in today's lesson, so I do realize that, and don't give me thumbs down because I don't explain everything. The next tutorial I will break down basically what we did because we're doing so much in 10 minutes. I'm just going to jump right into it, and the first thing that we're going to do is create a new layout, and we're just going to go new other XML or Android XML layout in your Android folder, and we're going to call this tutorial 1. Tutorial 1. Again, everything has to be lowercase, and you can only use, well, I guess the numbers 1 through 9, and then we just have to add the XML at the end. I always forget that for some reason. And there we go. We don't need to do anything with this. The other thing that we need to do is go to our main XML, and we're going to change some of these references on the buttons because this one doesn't have a reference, and this one I had 12. But what we're going to do, add some references so we can use the buttons later. Again, it's just Android ID equals at plus layout, and then we're going to call this button tutorial 1. And then this one you should already have a reference, and we're just going to call it tutorial 2. I had it at 12, so you want to change it to 2. And then we're just going to save, and we're going to get rolling here. The other thing that we want to do is add a new Java class. Again, you just go new class, and we're going to call this one tutorial, if I can spell here, tutorial 1, and we're going to save that. Within this class, we're again going to extends activity, and again, this is just so we can use like the on create, on pause, all that good stuff. And if you hover over, we still have to import activity so we can actually use it. We're just going to set this up so we don't get an error when we open this activity. So again, we're going to go to source, override methods, and then on create. And you want the bundle. It'll basically set it up for you like you're familiar with already. You should probably be like, oh, I know what we're doing here. Then we're just going to do set content view. And it's going to be our layout dot our new one, our tutorial, and end that with a semicolon, and we are off to start with our button here. Oh no, we might actually have time to explain the button. I didn't think we would, but what we're going to do is we're going to open our main class, or well, not our XML. We're going to open our menu class, and within the onCreate method, we're going to set up our button. And this is going to be familiar. This layout is going to be like our MP splash that we did, except well, I'll get to that in a second. To set up the button, we're going to have to do button, and then we're just going to say B for button. This is just something I do to help me remember the variables. Button tutorial 1, or I'll just do 1 like that. And again, like our previous lesson, like I kind of referenced, it doesn't recognize button, so we're gonna have to import the button, and now we can make a button variable pretty much. And to set this one up, again, it's going to be different, just like the media player variable is different. But what the good news is pretty much every time we use a button, even different kinds of buttons, even different types of views is what they call those, is those widgets. Pretty much the buttons are widgets, the text view is a widget, and those are classified as views. Now we can set up this variable to our XML that we laid out in the main XML, that ID we had for the buttons, and we're going to set this up to our first button, so it'll be tutorial 1. And to do that, we're going to put in parentheses button, again capital B, and then, like I said, these are views. A button is a view, so we're going to say find view by ID, and V is uppercase, B and I are all uppercase. And this is just going to say, hey, we're going to look through the XML or whatever you're referencing here, and we're going to find what you want to find, but make sure it's a view. And since a button is a view, we're going to be able to find it. So now we're going to hit R ID, hit ID dot tutorial 1. And just like our MP splash variable, it's going to tell us again that we aren't using this. We've just basically defined it and referenced it to the tutorial button we set up in XML. So that's pretty cool. But now we want to use this. We're going to do button tutorial 1. And when we hit dot, it's going to give us a lot of different view methods and stuff we can attach to our variable, because a button, like I said earlier, is a view. That's one of like the star things I want you to learn, is like a button is a view, text view is from the view class. So basically get that in your mind. That's like the one thing you want to take away from this lesson, is a button is a view, and we can use those view methods. We're going to want to set it up as something that we can click on. So we want to set, and my computer's slow so it's not finding it, set on click listener. So basically this is going to use this method with this parameter in here, on click listener parameter, or in its parameter. So we're going to add this one, and again it's just going to say, hey, now we're going to make this click listener, and what we want to do is do new view, because it's from the view class again, and we're going to do dot on click listener, and this is going to be a method. And like before, it's going to set up, this is kind of like our thread that we set up, where we didn't really define it, and it's going to do whatever is in this bracket. And again, this is going to be a little confusing, but you're going to become a master at this in no time, because we're going to be using some more buttons here in the next few tutorials. But yeah, it's going to do whatever is in here, and it's saying on click view whatever the view was. So this is where we want to set up what we want our button to do, is within this on click. So we're gonna do something that you've done before. Start a new activity, and again it's going to take an intent within its parameters. So we're going to say new intent, because we haven't defined one again, and we're going to set this equal to our package name, and we're going to say dot tutorial, dot tutorial 1. We're just going to spell it out. I'm just going to copy this and put a semicolon here, and it doesn't know what an intent is, so we're going to have to import that. Now we just have to add a semicolon to the end of this, because if you look right here, this bracket ends right here, this bracket ends right here, and this parentheses goes over all that stuff. And basically this is like on one line, like right how this is. But so since it's so long, we're just gonna have to end it down here. And if you remember from before, since we set up a new intent, we're gonna have to define that in our Android manifest. So we're gonna just do that real quick. We're just gonna copy activity from before and just change some stuff up. Again, we want to name this what we named our class, which was spelled like that right here, and then our Android name for the action is going to be what we just copied. Oh no, not that. We're just going to do tutorial 1. And hit save. And now when we click that button, it's going to, I'm just going to save this, make sure we don't have any errors. It's going to take us, it's going to start a new activity, and it's going to reference it as this. So we're just going to run the project, and I just kind of want to talk through something real quick. Okay, and now I just kind of cut out that splash screen because you guys don't need to see that. But now when we click this button, it's going to take us to our one tutorial Java activity or class. And the neat thing is when we hit back, it brings us back to the menu screen. So we can just play around with that. That's pretty cool. And basically, if we hit back again, it's just going to shut down our app, because that splash screen, if you remember, we had it finish itself, so it's no longer there. But we never defined our menu to be finished when we click the button, so you can go back and forth. And the menu class will go on pause when you start up that new activity, so you can define some stuff within the on pause for the menu if you'd like. I know this tutorial went pretty quick and we did a lot of stuff. Again, I'll try and explain a lot more in the next tutorial. I just wanted to get it set up and running for you guys. Again, this button is probably going to be a little bit confusing in how it works for now, but you'll become a champion at this in no time. I know you will, because we're going to be using it more, and you're going to understand the layout a lot more in the next few tutorials. Again, thanks for subscribing, and hope to see you next video.